What's up, boys? Just got done knocking some doors. It's currently 11:05, the 26th of February. We got 2 days left to maximize. Right now, we're about to eat a meal prep. We're gonna do a late night sales trainings for about an hour, getting these boys dialed in. So we got the best sales squad ever. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I appreciate it. And this is my first video, so don't hate me. Don't go crazy in the comments. It's going to be sick. It's going to be a cool journey. Excited for you guys to be along with it. Shoot me a comment or a follow if you guys want to see more sales content or lifestyle content of a 22-year-old millionaire. We'll see you, boys. For those who don't know me, I became a millionaire at 22. I finished building my dream BMW here recently, and then I obviously own my dream truck as well. I own over 12 units of rental real estate. I make over hundreds of thousands of dollars each year. What's interesting is you and I are probably more alike than you would think. I was doing construction before I ever got into sales, and I kind of didn't know where I wanted to go. I didn't know the right people. The network was hard to figure out. Like, you know, everybody says your network or this and that. I didn't even know where to freaking find it. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't know where I wanted to go or how to get there. But I did know one thing. I knew I wanted more. Like, you know, you see all the stuff on social media. You see, like, the dream life. Like, I know I wanted more, but I just didn't really know how to get there. And, you know, I say God is good. So how I even got into sales, it's actually kind of like a funny story. So again, I was working construction over in Salt Lake City, Utah, and during this construction process, we were building apartment complexes is what we were doing. And I was like, man, like, I'm breaking my back. I was getting paid like $12, $13 an hour. Like, I was not making nothing. Like, I was living paycheck to paycheck. But I had this epiphany, and I was like, you know, like, I'm busting my back building these apartment complexes. You know, how much are these people making from this? And I was a whole rabbit hole of real estate. I just fell in love with the idea of real estate, like owning apartment complexes, the tax advantages you get, the appreciation, and all these crazy things, like just the passive income, and how real estate is one of the almost true passive incomes you can do. Either way, so I started getting into this whole rabbit hole of real estate, and there was this one person that I really liked watching, and his name was Chandler Smith. And, you know, I always watched his videos just because I honestly genuinely liked the guy. Like, he was very entertaining. But how I got into sales was, and I don't know if it's God or the universe or whatever you want to say it is, but it was this thing or like this calling in my heart where it was like, by February, your life will change, or by February, like, quit this job and pursue something else. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had like that experience where it feels like maybe it's your gut or maybe it's God or whatever you want to call it, but it's like your brain or your heart or your mind's telling you, like, you know, like, by this time or something, like, something will change. And that's kind of what happened. Like, I knew I didn't want to stay in construction for that much longer, and this time it was like around November, and I watched this YouTube video, and this YouTube video was like, come make $100,000 in the summer. And I watched it. I was like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, this is bullshit. Like, whatever. Like, this guy's trying to sell me a course or some shit. And then he said it one more time. Like, he said it one more time. And I was laying in bed one day, and I was like, dude, what's the worst thing that could happen? And it's crazy to think about how one decision and one opportunity, dude, it can change your life. Like, one opportunity or one decision bad can change your life. You can end up in prison forever. But one good opportunity or one great opportunity can change your life as well. And I applied to this job. I met this guy who kind of recruited me into sales. And the rest is really like history, you know? And the crazy thing is, I'm 22 and I make more money knocking doors than people with a college degree or doctors or nurses or lawyers, just like selling pest control. Like, it's simple. And there was a big time frame in my life where I was honestly lonely. You know, Alex Ramosi talks about the lonely chapter. And when I was transitioning my life from it was 18 to 19, I had to cut off all my old friends. Like, everybody who was drinking, smoking, and getting arrested, And when you're trying to find this new group and you haven't found it yet, and you don't have enough skills, or if you don't have enough knowledge, or you don't know where you want to go, it's hard to find that, that chapter in those people. And I met with this guy it was a pho place. I met this guy at a pho place. We had some pho. He ran me through the details of the job, like, hey, we do what's called summer sales. You're going to go out of the state for 6 months. You're going to go knock doors and sell pest control, and here's the pitch. Now, what's funny is it wasn't just like this, I'm all in, like, yeah, I got the best opportunity. I was still super unsure of, like, is this the right fit? Like, I got recruited in November, and we don't even start the summer sales, if you're familiar with it, doesn't even start until, like, March. But I met this guy at pho, and he kind of explained everything that they do. They go door to door, they sell pest control contracts, it's a fully commission-based job. And I wasn't like all the way in. Like, I wasn't fully in. I wasn't like, oh, this is the freaking, I'm lucky I just got the best opportunity. I was like, this doesn't even sound legit. Like, what the hell? And what's crazy is over this time, so I got recruited in November, and we don't start the summer until April. It's kind of started in May. So there's this big, 6-7 month time frame where that was kind of like the decision-making process. But I would still hop on the guy, like, he would teach me sales tactics, he would teach me the sales pitch and all this stuff. But the thing that kind of sealed the deal, and I don't mean to get, like, religious on you guys or anything, but I'll hit on it briefly because I feel like it's important to the story. At this time, I was with this certain person, and I was still so uncertain and unsure that what I was going to do is the right decision. Now, I remember driving home one night, and when I was driving home, this person I was talking about it, like, hey, like, what's the plan? Are you going out there for the summer? Like, we have to figure out X, Y, Z if you are. And I was uncertain. And what I did, and this is one of the, because if you didn't know, I didn't really grow up religious. Didn't even grow up believing in God. Like, my family doesn't really believe in that kind of narrative. And I remember, driving home, and I was like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but let's pray on this. Like, let's pray and let's see what happens. And the company that I sell for, it's a pest control company, and it's a home-based service. And the craziest thing, and this still gives me goosebumps to this day, on that drive, I prayed, and I said, God, give me an answer of what I should do. Because in this time frame, I had about 2 to 3 weeks before I left for the summer. I prayed that night. I kid you not. The next day, in the morning, I get a phone call. I'm on a construction job, building these apartment complexes. I get a phone call, I answer. And this person says, this is so crazy. We prayed on this last night, and XYZ company truck is here. And from that moment, it felt just like a shockwave through my body. And that was where I needed to be. That's the place I needed to go. And from that prayer, it's turned out to be the best decision I've ever made. And ever since then, it's been a 4 or 5 year journey. It's been tons of battles, tons of cries, tons of just learning, tons of bullshit, tons of all this stuff. But would I change it for anything? I absolutely wouldn't, because it made me who I am today. And I just got to say thank you for God for getting me into sales. So my first summer, I went to Texas, and it was hot as shit. And it was hard. It was freaking hard. Like, that summer was, it was a battle. It was hot. Texas is hot, especially coming from Utah. And trying this new career and this new craft and getting rejected. Like, my first week was hell. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I cried my first week and I wanted to quit. And there was a couple things in my life that was making it hard for me to continue this opportunity. And I wasn't all in on door to door. I was not all in my first day. I was not all in before the summer. When I did have that spiritual moment with God, I knew that that was the place to be. But I wasn't all in. I had one thing to my advantage, and that was work ethic. And that's kind of how I beat everybody. But I had just had a lot of work ethic, and I had a shit ton of sacrifice. Like, I just left XYZ person. I just quit my job. My family is telling me not to do this. And I was down to my last couple thousands of dollars. And that's what helped me kind of, because, going into my first week, I didn't make that good of money. I made like 1 sale a day. So that's 6 sales a week. And I was like, holy shit. Did I choose right? Like, was this the right place? Like, is God leading me to the right opportunity? In my first week, man, it was brutal. Like, it was hell. It really was. And so I was not all in, my first day. I wasn't even all in my first week, and I wasn't even all in my first year, to be honest with you. I made $50,000 my first summer. More money than most of my peers at 19, so I was happy. And it's like $10,000 a month. But I blew that whole 50,000. I was not smart. I did not have good saving habits. I was probably spent 80% of my income and saved like 20. So I wasn't all in. And even year two, like I worked harder than I did my second summer, and I recruited a small little team. When I was all in, is my second summer. I was 20 years old. I made $290,000 on my 1099 plus bonuses. So I probably made over $300,000. And from that point, I was like, holy shit. This is more money than doctors and lawyers and people that spend 14 years into school. I just made over $250,000 at 20 years old selling pest control. From that point, that's when I was all in. It was clear as day. God has changed my life. I'm around the right people. They're buying real estate. They're investing. They have nice cars. They have sports cars, supercars, hypercars. And that's when I was really like all in. Going into summer 3, I did the unimaginable. I ran one of the best and cleanest sales organizations kind of in my whole group. And I also did a really good personal goal as well. That year, I made over $600,000 at freaking 21. And from that point on, and still to this day, I've been all in. Doesn't mean it was easy. Doesn't mean I don't question it. Doesn't mean if I haven't looked at other opportunities. But I know I'm in the right place. I know I'm in the right vehicle. And this is how I know. Because it's not just me that's making money, but it's a lot of the people that I work with directly that are making a shit ton of money. Mason Healy, one of my sales reps, came out just last year, straight out of high school, dropped out of college, made more than 6 figures. And this is just one scenario. I mean, if I explained everybody who's came out and made more than 6 figures, I'd be here all day. So it's not just me making money, and the question's not, am I getting wealthy? Is it the people around me and the people that I'm teaching? It's like, are they getting wealthy? And once I noticed that of how much income that I can make to give back and help other people, and the people around me, how much money they're making, it's night and day. Yes, this is the right decision. No to everything else. Now, a lot of people think that having all this money or, making your real estate investments and doing all, even giving back, like they think that's like the happiest you'll ever be. The question and the real answer is, will money make you happy? I think it's a tool to happiness for sure. Like I drive my beautiful car and I'm happy, like it's a vibe. Being with the boys, going fast, or I'm driving my truck, just cruising, like yeah, for sure. Having houses and having these achievements will make you happy. Yes. Now here's the difference, and here's where a lot of people get confused. Is that gonna make you feel fulfilled? And it's going to bring you purpose? And the answer is no. Now, without purpose and without fulfillment, you're never going to be happy. And this is one of the things that, I struggled with internally. So, and I'll give you guys a quick story. 2024, I just came off the best year. I just made over $600,000 by 22. I just closed on my 12th unit of rental real estate. And I actually didn't have this car. I had an Audi RS3, so an $80,000 car. And then I just bought this truck. And in everybody's eyes, I was winning. Like, we just ran one of the most cleanest sales organizations that you could. A lot of people did good. I made great money. But in that point, and I was house hacking one of my fourplexes. And in this phase, and it was January of 2025, so rolling into the next year, there was this time where I was so unhappy. Like, going to sleep was a freaking battle. Like, I just didn't want to go to sleep. And I questioned a lot of times throughout the night. I was like, what is my purpose? Like, I have all this stuff and I have nobody to share it with, and what's my purpose? And I have a lot of friends and a lot of people around me that I could always call, but I felt so lonely, and I feel like I didn't have a purpose, And the thing that changed for me, and I understood the answer that I was looking for, and it was to have a relationship with God and to find somebody that I could spend the rest of my life with and to give back to more people. And those three things for me solve that problem. But it's just a small mental note of, like, even if you have your best year and you make the most money that you've ever made, which happened to me, and it continues to happen, but I have a different perspective on it. I want you guys all to find your purpose and why are you doing what you're doing and what's actually going to make you fulfilled. And even after this massive year that we just got done with, people think, and I'm a decent salesman. Like, if you look at the top 1% statistically, I'm there. And even going into my fourth year, I was like, oh, this shit's about to be easy. I'm about to go out there. In our industry, it's called the golden door, because I just accomplished one. I was like, oh, I'm going to go out there and hit another golden door. Like, shit's cake. We had over 40 guys, planning on coming out and doing summer sales with us. So as far as growth goes, like, everything was on track. It was. And then we went out there, and then we were dealing with permits and licensing, and we started off in Texas, and it was a battle. It was horrible. Our guys were getting grilled. Nobody was really selling how we thought they were supposed to. And even myself, like, I wasn't selling to the level that I desired to be, because my distraction level was so high. And I had so many distractions, and I had so much excuses that I'm telling you guys. So we left from there, and we went to Chicago. And if you've ever been to Chicago in April, trying to work 12 hours a day outside, it's not fun. I was freezing cold. I was like 4 layers and freaking jackets and coats and 3 sweatpants and 2 socks, and I was still freezing, knocking on doors. It's not fun. And that whole summer, my leadership and my distraction level was so high, where my sales organization was slowly slipping day by day by day. The culture was not there. The team was just like butting heads with a lot of people, and it was like this whole disaster, just growing and growing and growing, kind of like a virus was. And that summer, this last summer that we've had, it was one of the hardest years. Like, I just went from selling $700,000 in revenue for the company, and honestly, last year I only did about $520,000 in revenue. And it makes me so excited, because this year in 2026, like, we're unstoppable. Like, the people that are already on the sales force have already done more revenue than they did last year, and it's February. And what's so cool is, like, we're on such a great track now, and our team will do more revenue. We have over 70 people coming out for the summer, and there's been so much success in just the short time, and the summer is just going to explode. Like, we're unstoppable. My favorite part of the video is the question, what's in store for us next? What does the future have to hold? And I'm freaking pumped. I'm excited. I mean, the plan is to build the best sales organization known to mankind. Really. Not just the most people, but to have the most and highest producing people. The people who make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. And here's what makes us different. I want to have a sales organization where majority of us save 80% of our income, and we invest the 80%. Where they're all buying real estate, where they're all buying businesses, where they're all buying nice cars, they're giving back, doing humanitarian trips, and giving back for Christmas and holidays, or they see somebody at a store and they pay for their food. And that's the type of sales organization that I want to build, where they're going super deep into their spiritual and religious side, where they're all just growing. And that's what the next plan and the next step is. And I mean, I guess, to be honest, phase 1 is done, because we already have that. We already have the best sales organization, where they get paid the highest commission, the highest marketing deals, and they have a real chance to build equity as well. So that phase 1's already done, but what's really in store for us, and I guess my life, my plan is this summer I'm going to go crush in personal sales. I'm going to go throw up $1 million in personal revenue. Our team's going to probably do $5 to $7 million. So they're going to be really well fed, probably more than well fed for sure. Going to go out there, do $1 million in revenue. Team's going to probably go do $5 million. We're going to go freaking build as much as we can and go throw up as much accounts as we can. Around the fall time, we're going to see what's going on. Like, I plan on really buying a business this summer, like an own business, whether it's a car wash I've looked into a lot. I've looked into laundromats and obviously more real estate. I just got done looking at a single family home. We're most likely going to put an offer, rehab it, and do a long-term rental or Airbnb. From that point, I mean, what's really next? The question's 1 year, 5 year, 10 years. 1 year from now, we're going to go freaking crush it in sales. The team's going to eat good. We're going to go freaking build something as a sales organization, and I'm going to invest into a company. Year 5, I'll build a company, have a good portion of equity into that company, and I'll probably sell that company for probably 20, 25, 30-ish million and make a good chunk of money off that. Like, I will be good. And in that 5-year process, at least change 10,000 lives somehow, some way, some shape, some form, whether it's on videos like this is, or whether it's in person, or whether it's I change one person's life and they change somebody else's life. And that's going to be the biggest goal. Also, 5 years from now, I'll have my dream house. I'll be married. I'll have kids. From that point on, I love cars, so I'll definitely have like a sick SF90, have a 720S or a 765. I'll probably have a sick Rolls Royce or a sick truck or maybe two of them. Now, if you guys want to follow along with this journey with me, follow me on Instagram. I'll drop the handle right here, Facebook, Snapchat, follow all my ads. Subscribe on YouTube. This is like my first video, so it's going to be super cool to see how it is 10 years from now. Shoot me a DM if you want to get into sales. Shoot me a DM if you have any questions or want advice, or if you're struggling. I've been through a lot and I could help you, and let's build together, let's grow together, let's connect some way.